So welcome back again to this totally unscripted stream of consciousness set of videos. Uh, in the final rollout of this, you will appreciate there will have been 3 videos. Initially, there was an introductory video which I did on an iPhone, showing you how to use screen recorder on your iPad. That's this one here. You see if you look at the cursor. Now again, the cursor, because it's red, it's competing with the reds in the picture. But that video is 5 minutes and 4 seconds long. The main video showing you the investigation that I was carrying out on an incident, looking at photographs that I'd taken, zooming in and out of them, annotating them, etc., and explaining the incident from an electrical point of view, from a safety perspective. And the third video, which was the one showing you how to transfer the short video that I did in my iPhone over to my iPad so they could pull them into the same space, then bring them into an editing package. So the editing package I'm going to use, if I just click on my home line, it's an editing package which is on the iPad called LumaFusion. So for us, this wonderful project that we're involved in, the Skibon of our domain shed in Gweedore, Northwest Donegal, which is, all this is supported by the Mitigating Against Educational Disadvantage Fund, which is supposed to help address digital literacy issues. Got a real fun group of 10 learners. The average age, I was just wondering what's between a median age and the average age, but let's say the vast majority of people are in their over 60, maybe 2 or 3 people, 50 years of age, 2 maybe at the moment, 3 people up to 85 years of age. Anyway, the great thing is we're all having fun. All good learning and play, and all good play is learning. So I'm going to click on, watch the cursor. Now remember, the cursor is it's a bit sort of insensitive, or it's sensitive, I think, maybe. Anyway, I'm rolling it around on my knee in a pair of trousers, so not exactly a workbench situation or a desk base. Anyway, click on this, LumaFusion opens. Wow. Now this is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I just love this. It's super. So you can see how LumaFusion, well, I think I start a new project. Click down here, left hand side, press that. Press the button. There's all these various projects I was involved in before. Let me click down here, press the button plus. Press that plus, and it says new project. So what am I going to call that project? Because it's a mishmash, isn't it? So I'm going to call it I play, because we are playing. I learn, because I'm learning. Don't know about you. And then iPad. And it's a metal because that's how we operate, and it's hopefully in a collaborative learning space. So sooner rather than later, all you people watching this are going to come back to me and say, Liam, hey, so will I show you this? And they'll say to Mary, how do you do this? And, Austin, how do you do this? And Eileen, and Ronald, what are you doing there? Come on, press this button. And that's how we'll all learn. So I'll just call it that, and I'll give it today's date so I'll have some memory, 19/02/22. And then I just press this button. That's my new project. Press plus and bang. Oh, let me see. Bang. We're in. So there we are. Our empty. This is called there's our canvas, our workspace, our timeline. So go up to the top left here, and this is for what I know about LumaFusion. Anyway, this tells me I'm going to import sources. I'm going to import videos, and all the videos that I want to import are stored in my Photos app. Now, there's a whole lot of other places you can be doing things. But anyway, my first job is to import data. Right? Click this. And where am I going to get it? I'm going to get it on videos on my app. So these are all these videos. Now, do you think if I can remember half of them? Okay, so if I were to go in here and look, I'm not sure which one is which. So just click on them, just double click there, and then come over to this side here and scroll along the timeline here, see that? Okay, so that tells me, I know that video. That was the first video that I had, which was made on my iPhone. So what I do is I'm going to pull this in. Now, typically I would be doing this either with an iPencil or my finger. So I'm trying to get you to watch it using the cursor on my mouse. So if I pull it like that, wow, just dropping down there. Now, the other thing, you see this guy here, that's the playhead, like the playhead in a tape recorder or something. So I'm going to use, let's see, if I just again, the mouse is emulating what my fingers would do, right? So this fella's after wandering all over the place. Get him back up. Get him. I'm going to put him up to there, right? There he is. That's not. I'm going to put him in there. Okay. So I'm going to have to use my fingers here, guys, because this is just too much for my little brain. Okay, so you can see that takes a long time. I suppose the thing would be good to be able to concentrate on. I can't blow in and out of this either. That's the other thing. So you'll have to take me, that little timeline here shows you the timing. So as I move it over and back, it just focused to where I was there. That's 4 minutes 52. There was about, remember this video went on, I think, for 5 minutes. So you can see it was a 5-minute video. And down here, this is a long thing. So how I zoom in and out is now you'll have to imagine this. I'm using 2 fingers at say a 45-degree angle, and I'm then squeezing them in beside each other and making this narrower or fatter. I'm zooming in or zooming out on the timeline. That's what I do. So I want to zoom right in there, right? Because I want to be able to see everything in the one timeline. See all this? So I want to get it really tight. Okay. Get in there. Right. So you can see it. So, okay. So the next thing I want to bring down my second video. Let's see what that is. Yeah. And I've just double clicked on him so he came down there. But you can say, I scroll across here, this is what it is. Could be this down there, right? And now let me just use my fingers to squeeze in again, get it nice and small. So you can see, just look at relative size. That video there was 5 minutes. This video is 30 minutes, so it's obviously 6 times long. And the final video I want to pull in here, just click on this fella, double click, and he pops. Oh, I don't like where he went. I didn't like that. You see what he did? He popped into the middle and he cut this video in 2 and he popped in there. I don't like that. So I go up here to this bar called undo. See that? So the mistake I made is because the playhead was placed at this location. So let me just place the playhead somewhere else. So how I place the play is use my finger to move across. What's this here? Move my finger in there. Now, what the hell? Do you see what I actually... So undo. If something happens, just undo. So I interchange the position of those 2 videos, right? So put them back in again. Move the playhead over here. Now, if I went up here at the top and I double-click this guy, then you see he inserts that video at the playhead. So he sliced into the previous video. That's not what I want to do. I want to put him at the end. So I just undo that. Come back here, will you? Right, now, go back here. And this time, instead of double-clicking, I'm going to pull him, see? Get up here, and I pull them in here. Again, I'm trying to do things with the mouse that I would ordinarily do with my fingers. We're using a touchscreen, or I'd use with a pencil. But there's the 3 videos. So what I'm doing now, it's kind of hard to do this with a mouse, guys, okay? I don't know why it's hard to do with a mouse. Okay, so I'm trying to get the mouse to emulate what my fingers are doing. It's not doing it too well. I don't know whether it's because I'm wearing black trousers. Anyway, what I do is I'm just using my finger here to scroll over and back. So as you can see, as I'm scrolling over and back, you can sort of see what's happening there. Okay. So this is the video telling you how to use screen recording. This is a video examining a particular situation and then showing you how to annotate it. So you can see me drawing all over it, you know, as part of an analysis and an investigation. And then finally, this is a video showing you how I brought the first video, that's this guy here, which was done on an iPhone, over to my iPad, so that all 3 videos were on my iPad, so I could pull all 3 videos into this video editing package called LumaFusion. Now, okay, now I could do lots of things. So for example, okay, a couple of things I'll do. I'm not going to edit this video hugely. That'll be for another day. But I'm going to use this thing. See these things called transitions. So this is this lovely idea of fading things in and out. So let me zoom in here for a start. So the fades that I'm going to produce, I'm just this across dissolved fade. So I grab them and I push them in at the front. Now, when I go back to the front, you'll see what happens. When it starts initially, the video, it'll just start. No, sorry, he's lost. That dissolve has been lost, so I'll just pull him back down. You just pull him and you stick him at the front, right? I should have gone in there at the front. Tell you what I'll do is, if I zoom right in, it'll be a lot easier if I zoom right in. So again, I'm zooming using my finger action at 45 degrees. Now I must learn about shortcuts. If I had a keyboard, there'd be a lot of shortcuts I could do. USB keyboard. Just take them in at the front. Problem. Okay. That's just this is a bit awkward because of the mouse that I'm using. Right. So I did that with my fingers, guys. So watch what happens here. So you fade from black, nice and class looking. So I'll just move over to the next section, which is where it's joined together. So that we're zoomed in too much. So I zoom back out again. Zoom, 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 zoom. Until I get to the crossover, right? To the there's a cross. See those? There are two. Now again, you have to imagine, I'm using my fingers to swipe over and back here, right? Not using the mouse because it's, now, so this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cross dissolve, try and use the mouse here. I'm going to drop that dissolve onto that slot. So it dissolves from one end to the other. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, I think, yeah, it went in okay. So I can zoom into that to see that purple section there? That purple section is the cross dissolve. So as we scroll across the timeline, so I'm just moving my finger on the screen from right to left. You see the way it goes from one and dissolves into the next video. So I have to do one more of those near the end because there was 3 clips. Move along here. It's a long way along here because remember it's 30 seconds. So right down to the end. Right down, right down, right down. Come on, come on. So it might have been easier for me to just pull the whole thing together, but you know, I haven't remembered the various shortcuts you can use here for zooming in and out. Now, there's the next joined video there. So you can see where the cut is there, two clips. So again, I just pull my cross dissolve here. Pull them and drop them into the gap. And now, did he go into the gap? We'll know if we stroll over and back. He never went in right. So it just has to be more careful. Okay, he went in there now. Okay, so watch him there. We just zoom in again. And you can see the dissolve is there. Okay. Now I could change the length of that dissolve by zooming in and holding out. I'll just show you. If I just hold down this fella here, let me see. Right, if I click on him until the bars are highlighted there, these bars. Then I just hold one of them, see if I can get to the side. It's hard to do because I'm trying to use the mouse. I'm going to use a pencil here, an Apple pencil. So you can see I can change the length. Oh, that's interesting. It's not going any further out than that. And let me just see, go to the end. So the other thing is there's a fella said to me the more you learn about computers, the more you realize you don't know. And that's typically that's the reality for me and anybody else I ever met. But the wonderful thing is if we work together in collaboration, imagine how much we can learn to teach each other. That's where the real fun begins. So hopefully as we go on this journey on our I Learn iPad journey, metal journey, and with the spirit of a metal where we all follow whoever's got something to say. So we drop a transition in at the end. Does he want to go in? Yeah, he's in there. Okay, so we can see him. All right. So if I just pull the whole timeline in, again, what I'm doing is I'm moving 2 fingers at a time and I'm pulling them closer together, zooming in. And that's my whole video, right? And you can, if I add them all up, they're going to be 38 minutes long. It's nearly as long as an episode of Jack Reacher on Prime, Amazon Prime. Just finished watching that in a blast, one series of a set of episodes. And the one thing he kept saying is details matter in an investigation. Anyway, so here we have our video, and now we have to produce one long video out of it, which is called rendering the video. And we could do all sorts of things like adding titles, etc., but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go down here to the bottom, and there's a wee sign there. See that? That's the typical sign that I put for sharing or exporting things. Click on it, and it says you want to make a movie. Yeah, I want to make a movie as against just audio, and I click on it. And where am I going to store it? At the moment, I could store it in lots of places, including being able to store it on external SSD drives. We can look into that. That's another, oh wow, the amount of learning we have to do. Click on photos, and then here we enter the various settings. So the first thing, now most importantly, look at how big this video is going to be. 13 gigabytes. Now this iPad has loads of storage on it at the moment. and it's going to take a long time for this video to render. And the detail's not really important. Like, I don't need, for example, the resolution is 4K resolution. It's monstrous. So I don't need it in 4K. Let me just go down to something much, much smaller. I'm going to have to use my fingers now. Not really sure how to get the mouse to scroll up and down. So I'll just set it up at 1920 by 180 iPhone. Well, see that. And the other thing is then, so we've seen it's going down to 6 gigabytes now, which is still kind of monstrous. So standard definition was standard quality, 26 megs. So, but I want to look at two things. I'm going to change that value and look at this value down here at the same time. So at 26 megabits per second, I'm going to go down to what it would be like at the smallest. Would that be okay? Smallest, 10 megabits per second. And suddenly we're down to 2.4 gigs. That's enough, okay, because this is all trial stuff. The resolution won't be phenomenally great or anything because the video quality won't be great. But on the other hand, there's not a lot of movement involved here in the video, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Anyway, I deciding all those things, I just press this little button here, and then bang. Now look at what's happened. This video is what's called rendering, okay? So you can see there's a clock and it's filling out, and it shows that 14, 15, 16 seconds of 40 minutes. So this is going to take a long time, and I'm not hanging around to do that. When this is finished, this video will show up in my photos folder, okay? So what I've been doing here is I'm making a video about making a video and subsequently editing that video. Mr. Dodds, what is it, Mary?
What's his name?
Dodds?
Dad's. Who's no, not that. Yeah. What's his name?
Danny.
No, Danny.
Danny Doohan's.
Danny Doohan's dad's dog died.
Danny Doohan's dad's dogs died.
No, one dog.
Oh, there's only. All right, Danny Doohan's dog.
No.
Danny Doohan's daddy's dog
died.
Danny Doohan's daddy's dog died.
No.
Okay?
No.
Danny Doohan's daddy's dog died.
Danny Doohan's dad's dog died.
Danny Doohan's dad's dog died.
Yeah.
Okay? So, unique New York. That's the sort of way we learn these things. So, the important thing to remember through this video and all the other videos, you know, life can be really boring. That's not boring that I would do stuff like this. So I think what should happen, the great thing is until I've done this, I'll never know. I'm going to press this button here. See that? Oh, he's gone away. Right. When I press this button, what will happen is that I'll stop recording what's going on in my iPad, but my iPad will continue making its video. How will I know? Because in 40 minutes time, well, it's processed 3 minutes and 35 seconds of a 40-minute video. So this is called the process of rendering. And what it's doing is, if you think of movies being run like the old cartoons in our hands we used to use it, one frame, we just flip the frames over like cartoon, you make the animation happen. So if you think of 25 frames a second or 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second, I forgot the lock, that might be actually recorded 60 frames per second, which is one of the reasons it would be very big. Or part of it might have been rendering is taking each one of these frames and doing a mathematical processing on them and then moving along. So needs quite a strong processor. Again, this is a small iPad mini 2021. So I think it has the same chip in it as maybe the iPhone 13 or something. So it's quite a powerful chip. Interesting to see how this thing operates. Quite hard on the juice, mind you. I mean, we're down to 35%. So, you know, when you're in the business of working with video, etc., the iPad doesn't go on for hours and hours and hours. I think this started at about 100% power. I could have had it plugged in while I was doing it, so it wouldn't have been a real problem. So anyway, I'm going to finish that video. Again, what I say is when I say 3, 2, 1, stop, then I'll press the stop button. I hope you enjoyed this. This is all part of a Mitigating Against Education Disadvantage Fund, supported by Donegal ETB, in conjunction with Skill Boulevard Immense Shed and Guido and Wild West Donegal, with a fabulous group of excited second chance children's learners with their average age well into their over 60s, etc., right up to 85 years of age. A couple of stragglers in there in 50 or 51. They're the slowest boys in the class. You have to keep up with the rest. Anyway, it's all about a bit of fun. And hopefully we'll see you on the other side, or one of the other sides. Okay, so I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, stop and stop.